you're ever, I mean, I found out that you could even, if you don't want to do litigation, you could do research attorneys, and those are the ones that help the judges write their briefs. And not only that, but I really created a relationship with Justin Jenkins. It's funny because this summer I worked at a firm here in San Francisco, and it turns out that some of the partners were Justin Jenkins mentees. So I was able to talk to them when I arrived. I felt like I knew someone already, and just telling them, hey, Justin Jenkins, say hi. Just the fact that they had a relationship, they created that relationship with me, and I still have relationships with the partners at the law firm and Justin Jenkins. And now when we go to events that they invite me, it turns out that all of them are there. So now I can say that I created some type of social network. And they already have a relationship. The fact that they have a relationship within themselves makes me kind of part of that group. So that's the best part about it. It's not that the fact that your relationships with the people that you're placed in should not end after the program's over. It should continue. And it might seem that it's difficult to do, but this San Francisco, it turns out that it's really small and everyone knows each other. So it's just funny to see how it works, especially since you're new to the area. If you tell them about a specific organization that you're planning to enter or that you're interested in, they'll know someone that they could connect you with. So I feel like I didn't know that that's what I was going to get out of this program. More than anything, I just wanted to get an insight of how the court system works and how can I get to the court system if I'm ever interested in being a judge or a justice. And I did. I could say that I got a good insight of how everything works, and not only that, but we built personal relationships, not only with my Justin Jenkins, but also with the staff members. And I had a great experience, and I would definitely recommend it to everyone. 3 days might seem a lot, but they go by really fast, and it's worth it. It's worth your time being here.
You know what, let's take a second while I know that there are folks who need to go, so let's let them go, and then we will have Anthony speak. And I encourage all of rest of you, when I make the video available, go ahead and listen to Anthony's words about his experience as well as the questions and so on. Thank you all for coming. Please do make sure, I will send it around. Please do make sure that you have signed in, so I know that you are interested. Thank you. Okay. Anthony?
Wait, Anthony. So the why, right? Every contracts class, I always wondered what it would be like to work in a big firm, big national firm. And I lucked out because they placed me in Schiff Hardin, which is a top national firm. It's one of the top firms here in San Francisco. And I got assigned to a partner, a managing partner. And yeah, I got to see what his days were like, all 3 days, like from beginning to end. We did depositions, we did client meetings, we did all these different things. You're not doing work, but you're there, and you're just experiencing what it takes. And I think that experience was really important for me, and that, along with the networking, which everyone else has been talking about, were probably the two biggest takeaways that I got from this experience. And it was pretty invaluable because it kind of reminded me of what it took to what it will take for me to complete law school and have a successful career. But also I realized the same thing as Lizette. We got to interview a lot of attorneys. First of all, how often do you get great attorneys and you can just talk to them, go check them out in their office and sit with them and talk to them about anything. That was great. But also they all had such different backgrounds. So it's kind of inspiring, whatever we do, as long as we work hard, I think hopefully we'll get to where we want to be. So I think that's what a great takeaway was from this program, and I hope that you all like it. If you have any other questions, hit me up.
That's great. Thank you. Well, I couldn't ask for better representatives or to articulate it better what we think the value of the program is and why USF has been very excited about it. The one type of I thought I might just read for you who the placements were last year so that you could hear about that. The one kind of placement that we don't have represented here, sorry, I'm trying to get into the video, I'm not trying to get in front of you here, is companies. We also had a number of companies who had placements, and the folks who had placements there had really interesting experiences as well, seeing, well, what does it actually mean to be an in-house attorney. That's something that in law school often you may not really get much exposure to. What is that? What is your role within the company? They got to meet with their internal clients, meaning other people within the company, the product designers or managers or salespeople or so on, who the legal team is supporting. They got to learn about the organization in terms of what its products were. And again, as has been remarked upon by these students here, learning about the interesting career paths of the folks who worked in those in-house corporations, about how they got their start and how they set themselves up well in order to be able to go in-house. So these may not all be names that are familiar to you, the organizations, but I can reassure you that every organization I'm about to read is a very high quality organization that can provide a really substantive experience for you here. So for the law firms, we have Schiff Hardin, which Anthony was at, was wonderful, Kecker and Van Nest, McDermott, Will and Emery, Rogers, Joseph and O'Donnell, and Seyfarth Shaw, all firms with really great reputations. For government positions, and court positions, we heard about the California Court of Appeal. We heard about the Office of the San Francisco Supervisor and USF Law student Katie Tang. We also had folks at the San Francisco District Attorney's Office and the San Francisco Public Defender's Office. For corporate placements, we had someone at Bank of the West. We had someone at the Bechtel Group, at Intuit, at Juniper Networks, and at NetApp. So a wide variety of interesting in-house positions. And then for nonprofits, we had Shelley at Earth Justice. We had someone at the Natural Resources Defense Council and the Transgender Law Center. And I bring these up just as the list so that you can hear about who was last year. This year, because we are going to have 3 times as many people participating, there will be a even broader list. And so some of you may be placed with folks who were hosts last year, but some of you may be placed with folks who are new to it this year. So now what I really want to do is open it up and let the students and myself, as need be, answer questions from you about the program. So who has some questions? Don't be shy. Go ahead.
Were these just like in the San Francisco area, or did they kind of extend out to like the Bay, maybe even the Valley and such?
Excellent question. So most of the positions were in San Francisco, but we also had positions in the South Bay and one in the East Bay. And this year I expect to have additional in the South Bay and the East Bay, and even potentially in the North Bay, as well as in San Francisco. But it is a Bay Area focused. Several of our companies were in the South Bay, as well as one of the law firms was in the South Bay. What other questions do we have? Zach?
So really, is this just end up being, a gateway into our summer internships? Is it a great networking experience to sort of dip our toe into the summer internships, I guess?
Well, I'm going to let these folks answer that. What I do want to be very clear about one thing, which is participating in this program does not equal getting an internship at that organization. We are very clear with the hosts that there's no obligation in terms of that it really is just a shadowing experience. But I'm going to let these folks, we've already heard some about what the networking is that's come out of it, but who else would like to say something to Zach's question about how does it relate to upcoming opportunities, I guess?
I think, like anything in law school, it is what you make it. So, I mean, there's people that either really enjoyed their positions, but I'm sure they will do anything past that. There's people that hated it, but had really good conversations with other people, and they reached out. Or like me, for instance, the board of supervisors was like, I don't know how much of a legal basis there really is. I mean, yes, there is, and some of the arguments that you make for city ordinances or whatever, but working with the city attorney's office, who actually handles all that, is like, hey, let me reach out. Just ask, hey, what's the process for, like, are there, like, play the dumb card, kind of, and say, hey, well, what's the process for getting an internship, or hey, when can I apply, or just having those conversations and seeing, and then once they have to know you on a personal level, now you're not just the electric document that comes in where they get to read, now they know they have a face to the name. So 9 times out of 10 that'll help, but again, with anything law school, it is what you make of it, so it's not like you're just going to go in and they're going to know you, and they're like, oh, okay, this person's cool, let's hire them. It's going to be based on those conversations you have, the networking that you have, sort of how much interest you put in, I'm assuming. I mean, I can't say that's going to go for everybody, but But definitely, I mean, they know that you're there to network. I mean, they're not gonna expect you to do work in 3 days, you know, they know that you're there to network, so they obviously would like, I'm sure, to keep connection after.
So I didn't try to seek some type of internship out of it, mainly because I already had my summer set up, unfortunately. But it was just helpful, like, 'cause, I mean, they knew I was interested in human rights law, which technically environmental does fall into that. But they were just so focused on that. So every person they introduced me to, they would tell them what my interest was. And it's like, oh, and they'd be like, oh, I know this person, that person. There's a lot of connection, and just, I mean, for me, that's more valuable because I know that I could call on her 6 months from now without even keeping contact, and she'll remember me because we established an actual friendship, and it's, I don't know, it's more reliable.
Yeah, I think it's if you're able to communicate your interests, so once you communicate your interests, if they know anyone that does that type of work, they might recommend you. So like they said, they know you at a personal level, so they're more willing to give your name out to the person that they know than someone they don't. They just send them an email saying, hey, I'm interested in this, will you take me as your intern? I think it's just personal connections that you make. And I would not go with the idea of saying, if when you do this program of like, oh, I'm going to do this because I want a summer job. I think I would just go in saying like, I want to learn and I'm here to explore, and what can this program provide me more? Not it's like one attorney told me, it's you have to give. You don't expect to get something back, but instead go with the idea of giving something back. And I think attorneys appreciate that more than you expecting something from it.
I concur with myself.
And yeah, I do like the emphasis here on, you know, this is about the long game, right? Not just about the short game. So the connections that you're making are going to, could repay in terms of opportunities over the course of your career, really. So I'm glad to hear that that's the case. That's what's happening with all of you. Other questions? Okay, well in that case then, I won't force any more out of you. I think we covered what needed to be covered. Just a reminder that you're going to be getting an application in the next couple of days, and that it will be due, I believe, on Wednesday the 3rd, so you'll have a couple of weeks. You can reach out to me with questions about that or about the program, and I'm also going to send around the contact information for these fine folks here. Let's please give another round of applause.